inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Jimmy, this is MC Alfred. I'm just chilling, Jimmy Sayo sitting down and designing. Why every man them are thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't catch me. Big up the girls inside the party. Let's get down to crazy Jimmy. Big up myself and known as Alfred, the one and only, the Turkish MC.
Always love the clothes of Jimmy.
Bitch, I'm your wanna be. Jimmy Star, new celebrity.
We'll take you.
Hey, hello. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. We have a great show for you guys today. We have Scream Queen Jessica Cameron coming on, and then we have actor Chris Browning coming on. It's going to be a great star-studded show. And before we get started, let's say hi to everybody. Starting off with a hello from our cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
I'm glad you know that about me.
Okay, say hi because we got to keep going.
I'll say hi when I feel like it. You're not paying me enough to say hi quickly.
Okay, so then we also want to say hi.
Actually, it pays me nothing. I work for free.
I want to say hi to the man behind the boards. We got in Philadelphia, we have Scotty J. What's up, Scotty J?
What's happening, guys?
Hey. And then we've got at the W4CY studios in Wellington, Florida, we have Danielle. Hello, Danielle.
Hello.
Who wants to marry Dean Cain?
I do?
Didn't you say you were hot for Dean Cain, Superman?
No. When did you hear that?
Oh, I must have dreamt it.
We haven't even talked about Superman.
No, but listen, every man that comes on our show, she wants to ball, so what do I know?
No, last week, Scott, though, he is my main prize.
Oh, yeah? Wait till you see when, what the hell is his name? Cain comes on.
Yeah, it should be a
He's
lot of fun.
Superman, Lois and Superman. Remember the TV show?
Yes.
He's coming on. We met him at a thing last week, and he's fabulous. We bonded. He's just like a regular guy, a good Joe.
That's
And he's single, and he's looking for a nice girl.
And I like to cosplay, too, so win-win for me.
Yeah, there you go.
What'd she say?
She likes to cosplay.
What is that?
That's like when you dress up like people. Explain cosplay, Danielle. I don't even know how to explain it because I don't do it.
Like when you dress as a nurse?
No.
And sex? And you go
No. Okay, so you go to Comic-Con, SuperCon, and all those
you go masquerade.
You go as the Mario Brothers or somebody.
You go in masquerade. That's old English. I know that kind of language.
Okay, I'm
so
sorry.
you go to these parties in masquerade.
It's a costume play.
Oh, I thought it was like when you go as a nurse to ball somebody. You know how you walk in as a nurse?
That could be cosplay too, but a different kind.
But that's what she does. Danielle plays a nurse. Sometimes she plays a hooker. Once she played a played a fireman once.
She likes to play the person who gets arrested by the policeman because she has a thing for policemen.
Cop thing. And
I'm
he handcuffs her, he throws her on the bed, the usual stuff.
So hang on, we got a chat room full of people. Let's say hi. We got Teresa Sabin in Florida. What's up, Teresa?
Hey, Teresa. Thank you for all the posts that you do of me. I really appreciate it. And thank you for all the likes that you put on my junk I put on Facebook.
Then we have Cindy Lady Lake from Lady Lake
Thank
Music.
you,
What's
Cindy
up,
Lady
Cindy?
Lake,
Yay.
for all of your kind.
Bruce Glasgow is in the chat
Shut up,
room.
I'm doing nice.
I know, well, you can do nice at the end of all of them. Let's go through them. We got Twism White Piece. What's up? Twism White Piece.
Twism Big White Piece.
We got Bruce Glasgow. Teresa say, I don't know, because it's going faster now. I don't see. Eileen is in there. She's only going to be here for a minute. What's up, Eileen? Actually, while Eileen is on the phone, we should tell everybody that they can go to the MarsSociety.org and get tickets for Mars Rocks. Mars just wants to have fun. It's a fabulous concert with Revolution and the Hailers at the Globe Theater. It's 740 Broadway, Los Angeles, California. And it's on October 18th, 2019. And get your tickets. There's going to be a great red carpet event. Lots of stars going to be there, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So get your tickets today.
Eileen, how come you're only on a minute?
You got to work. We have work
really.
to do.
I mean, you know me privately, personally, and I'm a superstar. So how could you possibly only want to see me for a minute?
She's got to work. We got things going on.
Jimmy's a workaholic. He's a slave. He's got me doing everything in the house. I'm electrical wiring, all the new kitchen wiring. I put the garden gate up, sprayed it black. The can exploded. I brought it back to Home Depot. They were so nice. That's because Amy, the manager at the Palm Springs Home Depot, is my buddy, and I love her. She's a gay woman who just got married to a beautiful girl and is so happy. Anyway, they gave me another can of paint, and they also gave me turpentine for free so I could wash my hands that were all black and turpentine. Maybe they thought I was going to sue them or something, but I don't know.
Who knows? We also want to welcome Dave Hughes in the chat room. What's up, Dave? You're going to like our first guest, Scream Queen Jessica Cameron. She's fabulous. She's gorgeous. She even played young Marilyn Monroe in a great film, The Black Dahlia, and I think that you're going to think she's fabulous because I know that we do.
You said that. You're repeating yourself like an old man.
I didn't repeat myself.
Yes, you did.
I did not.
You said she's fabulous. Yes, you're going to find her to be fabulous.
That's a whole one sentence.
No, it's an improper sentence.
No, it's not. Anyway, what's up, Dave? We're welcome and happy to have you.
Listen, Starbucks Frappuccino, you better send me a couple of cases of this coffee because this is the second week that I'm drinking it on the show. Reason being, Jimmy has me working so hard. I put muriatic acid all over the concrete in the front of the house to bring it up to being fresh and beautiful. And I put the garden gate up and the metal and the wire. I did electrical wiring. And then he says to me, you got 20 minutes before showtime.
Yep. And now Backpack John just joined us.
So
too,
I had no
what's
time
up?
for lunch. This is my lunch.
You're going to eat afterwards because we don't have time for dinner before our event. You guys, we're going to a fabulous event. It's I forgot what it's called. We'll have to tell you all about it next week. But in the meantime, last week we went to see the Beverly Hills Rejuvenation Center, red carpet. That's where we met Dean Cain and the Housewives and all kinds of really cool people. And then we were with Sadie Katz and Tyler Gallant and Sherry Davis. And afterwards we went to the Shriekfest Horror Film Festival and walked the red carpet there. And that's where I already knew Jessica Cameron, but that's where Ron met her. And that's how she became a guest on our show this week. And that's
she looks just like Anita Ekberg. She is so beautiful in person. What a beautiful girl.
And then she's also Chris Browning. We met him there, too. And his film that he's in, that he stars in alongside Caroline Williams, won the film festival. It's called Greenlight. So
Caroline Williams was outrageous looking. She had on a fishnet bra and long leg thing. She was half naked. Look at my Facebook page. You'll see pictures of Caroline. Oh, looking
Smoking
absolutely
hot.
sexy for a woman over 40. Speaking of over age, I don't know how I do it. I go to all these events. I'm out all night long, and then the next day I work. And I'm no juvenile delinquent. I used to be. Now I'm an old senior citizen delinquent.
We don't stay out all night, though.
All night. Well, we get home
by 2.
No, 3 o'clock in the morning at my age is all night. When I was a teenager, I used, as an actor starving, I used to look for work. So I worked as a hairdresser 3 days a week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And I remember Friday night doing my last customer at 11 o'clock at night, comb out, because that was our late night, going out to a gay bar with my friends until the morning light, then going home, sleeping for 2 hours, and then going out again.
They say that's why you're so young, though, because you can go out and do all these things. It makes your mindset stay young.
No, it's because I'm retarded. I'm stupid. I have the Peter Pan syndrome. Meanwhile, listen, folks, I never was a Judy Garland fan, as most gay guys are. Judy Garland's voice never was for me because she can't hold a smooth note. She yodels when she sings or she quivers. We went to the movies last night to see Judy. That Renee, how do you say her last name? Zellweger is absolutely the most incredible actress you will see on screen this year. If she doesn't win the Oscars, I will kill the Academy. I'm voting for her, for sure. I've already made my decision. The film was okay. Part of it was true. A lot of it was soft because they didn't want to make Judy look really bad. So they did it in a nice way. Liza Minnelli was really not in it to do anything for the film. Renee did her own singing, which was the mistake. They should have dubbed Judy Garland's voice in because as wonderful as Renee can sing, and she can sing, it wasn't Judy Garland, and we lost the character in her songs. Had she dubbed Judy's voice, she would have been absolutely Judy Garland. The film is very well done, beautifully photographed. The color is good. The sound is good. The quality is good. It's not a cheesy $2 bio film like most of these junky films are. It's really a very splendid film. I would definitely say go see it. It's a heartwarming film, and you will love the energy that Renee does at the end when she sings her finale like Judy Garland. It was worth the movie right there. So please go see it. And Hollywood, Academy, everybody out there, vote for Renee. Her job was fabulous. She's in every scene, working her ass off. No one out there knows how hard it is for an actor. We don't do it just once. We can sometimes do it 5, 10, 15 times, over and over and over. You work from 6 in the morning till 11 at night. I mean, it's a hard job being an actor. It's not like you think, go sign autographs at movie premieres like these stupid kids think, I'm going to be an actor because they want their friends to like them.
It's a very good movie. Everybody needs to go see it.
Yeah, and it's a work hard movie. If you see the work that she's done, I mean, it's incredible how she had the essence of Judy Garland, everything about Judy. She was wonderful. Renee, kudos to you, my darling. You were wonderful.
What else? We saw other movies. That's the only movie we saw.
No, we saw Hustler with Jennifer
No, we saw that
Lopez,
last. We told them that last
which
week,
was
though.
fabulous. Jennifer Lopez is absolutely the hottest middle-aged woman around. She's fabulous.
Yeah, I think we told them that though last week. So this week, that's the only one we saw. I think, right? Yeah, that's the only movie we saw, you guys. Because
No, we
out
saw
doing
a
stuff.
Stinkeroo, which was a space film.
No, we told them that though. 'cause
I know that was
the
a
last Friday.
stinkeroo.
Ad Astra's terrible.
Oh, don't even waste your dollars on that number. Go see Judy, and
see
definitely
Judy.
go see Downton Abbey.
Downton Abbey.
I mean, I think that's going to knock the hell out of Judy. I think that Downton Abbey will win Best Film of the Year because they're nominating Judy as the best film. But then again, Hollywood is about 90% gay, and all the gay guys love Judy, so they all may be voting for Judy at the Academy Awards. It will be an exciting year this year, the Academy Awards, because we really have some good films that are going to be presented.
Absolutely. It's very exciting.
Very
What are
exciting.
you going to do? So we got a cool event we're going to go to after the show now. We'll talk about that
Where are
one
we going
next
for
week.
dinner? You want to go to that Chinese place?
Yeah, we have to go
Again?
afterwards, though, because we don't have time.
Oh, I know. I have to eat.
You got to eat something here because we don't have time.
Well,
We don't have
I'm
time.
going to die on the road.
No, you're not. You're going to eat
I
something.
will eat the
You have a
road
house-
kill.
You have a
Just-
house full of refrigerator. You can eat something there, and then
There's
we'll eat
nothing in the house.
afterwards.
The refrigerator's empty.
Well, we'll get something because we're not going to. I don't know. I mean, we can go if we get there in time. We can.
No,
but
I have to eat before we go.
you'll eat from the house. Don't make a big deal about it.
What's in the house? What's in the
I don't know.
refrigerator?
There's got to be something.
Did
can
you
eat.
look in that refrigerator? When I talk in the refrigerator, echoes back. That's how empty it is. There's
That's
nothing in the
okay.
refrigerator. I've been too busy being your slave,
My slave.
working in concrete, cinder blocks, tile. I hooked up the gas to the fire pit myself. I laid all the pipes, all the electrical wires going to the water fountain and the cascading pond. I built the pond out of gigantic stones that Jimmy brought. I couldn't lift them. We did a lot of work here, you know.
And we're still not done, but we're working on it.
I know, but I must eat. I'm a growing boy.
We didn't do all that just now. We've been working on that stuff for a while.
I'm a growing boy. I must eat.
Either way, but it's only an hour red carpet, so we can't be late.
I don't give a shit.
It's in
What-
Hollywood, though.
I am so sick of these red carpets. One more red carpet, I'm going to puke on them.
Yeah, well, this is a big one, so
Oh, please. I got a big one. This is a big one. They're all big ones. Everything's a big one.
it is a big one.
Okay.
Anyway,
When's
it's gonna
our
be-
guest coming
It's
on?
gonna
You're
be
a
fun.
bore.
It's going to be fun. We're going to let you guys know about it once we go next week, and you'll see pictures tomorrow.
Who's on first? The blonde?
Yep. Her name's Jessica.
I know her name. She's fabulous. I told her she looked like Anita Ekberg. She never heard of Anita Ekberg, so she looked on her cell phone. She said, "Oh, thank you. She's beautiful." And Anita Ekberg was Miss Sweden years ago. She was in La Dolce Vita with Marcello Mastroianni, and she was the one that went into the Fountain of Trevi in that beautiful, sexy, strapless black gown with her long, long hair under the waterfalls of the Fountain of Trevi. Anita Ekberg was also in another film called Boccaccio 70, where she played a sexy woman that they put a big billboard up in an empty lot. And the man across the street was a religious guy, and he thought that the billboard was filthy and dirty because half of her breasts were exposed. Ekberg had an enormous chest, and it was real in those days. Anyway, the film is where she's rolling down the hill And in Italian, she's singing, drink more milk, as her bosoms are bouncing all over. So that was back in the 1958 when it was shocking to see such cleavage.
All right, so hold on. Hey, Scotty J.
Yep.
Is our guest look like she's online?
Yep.
All right, so here's what we're going to do, you guys. We're going to play the Jessica Cameron, her reel. It's an older reel, but it's the most updated one I could find while we get her on the line. Do you guys both have that?
Yes, I do.
Yep.
So on enjoy. All right, everybody, we're going to get and call our first guest, Jessica Cameron. She's fabulous. She's gorgeous. You're going to love her, and I hope you guys enjoy her reel while we're getting her on the line. Enjoy.
I'm going to tell you all a story. This is a story about a witch who used to live in this very house. This particular witch hated children. So every Halloween, instead of candy, she would pass out poison, disguised as delicious treats. That is until we took care of her. The only way to kill a witch is to cut them up in little pieces.
So, what do you think?
About what?
About Tom. What else?
He's all right.
God, loosen up a bit, okay? We're here to have fun.
I have fun. Just not the kind of fun that you have. I guess he's nice enough.
I'm thinking he's gonna look a lot nicer in my bed.
Slut.
Morgan!
Tom!
Where's Cassie?
She fell. I thought she was behind me. I heard her scream.
It's okay. She'll be fine. She's gone now. You trusting little cunt! The entire reason this community survives is because of that house. And the show must go on. But once you're here, dear Mo, you don't leave.
I'd like to introduce Jennifer. I'm so happy that you could be here with us today.
Thank you. I am so happy to be here.
Now, we were just talking to your friends about what it was like for them when they heard you got arrested. But what was it like for you while you were in jail?
It was the most horrifying experience of my life. I mean, you can't have shoelaces and they make you sleep on this really uncomfortable cot.
It must have been really, really awful. Did you ever think that they would let you out?
My lawyer kept telling me they couldn't convict me without finding a body, but you never know.
Wow, that's a really incredible story.
Well, that's gonna be a good shot, Jennifer. You look great.
Jennifer, truth or dare?
Truth.
At what age did you first have sex?
11. I was raped when I was 11.
That is true. Good girl.
Don't look at me, Ray. It's not like I had a choice.
Who did it?
It doesn't matter.
I'm sorry.
I don't need your sympathy.
Beautiful. I've never
All right,
seen
guys,
you.
guys, I'm sorry. We're back. We are back and we're live right now.
Good.
So
I'm just
yeah.
admiring her video. She is so beautiful in person, and I'm watching how beautiful she is on film. Look at that face. Anita Ekberg, I'm telling you, she's a stunner. I'm not crazy about the lighting. I hope all of you people see her lighting.
Now we don't see her at all
Well,
because she's
no,
trying
no,
to.
but she's got a great
I
studio,
know.
doesn't she?
Because she's such a beautiful girl in person. I was
All
so
right, everybody. So we're almost ready. We're working on some technical difficulties, and Jessica's getting some light. She'll be back in 1 second.
Yeah, and when I met her, I was absolutely overwhelmed with her nose, and her beautiful features are also fine and delicate. And she does look like Anita Ekberg. So all of you out there, look up Anita Ekberg.
There you go. All right, I don't see her on the Oscar side yet, but
She's on
say
our screen. There she is.
Say something, Jessica. Let's make sure we can hear you.
Hi, thank you so very much for having me on the show.
There we go.
Oh.
Okay, see, she looks different
Oh
here.
yes. See, now you're gonna. Oh, you look good.
Okay.
Oh, there's that beautiful face. I'm so happy.
All right, everybody. Now we want to
Good.
welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, the incredibly talented and gorgeous actress, producer, and director, Jessica Cameron. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so very much for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Oh, it's going to be fun. So this
And
is going
she's
to be a
very
wild ride.
she's very unassuming. When you meet her, she's not a show off or a drama queen.
She's just gorgeous.
She's just a nice person. I liked her very much. I was impressed.
So let me introduce you to everybody, starting off with my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
Hi, good seeing you again.
Likewise.
Always good to see you.
And then we have the man running all our video stuff. He's in Philadelphia. His name is Scotty J. Scotty J, say hi to Jessica.
Hey, Jessica. You should have heard everything that these guys were saying behind your back when you were off the camera. I'm telling you.
I'm sure it's all good things.
Yes,
no.
it was.
The horny guy in Pennsylvania, the Scott guy, he's like a real horn. I mean, if he was like in a massage parlor, he would drop $500. He's such a John. But anyway, he wants to go out with you.
Even though he's married.
Even though he's married. I said, you know what? She wants money. She's going to go out with a multi-gazillionaire.
She
She
needs a
likes
Rolls
Rolls
Royce.
Royce and caviar. She don't want to go with you to Burger King. Come on, give me a break, Scott. Get over it. Right, my beautiful Anita. I'm going to call her Anita. Because she looks
You know
like
what? In
what?
dating, I just look for somebody who's really great and preferably not married and who likes animals.
Oh, and animals is a good thing, too. We have 3 dogs. If you can see, Ron's petting one of them
This
there.
is my little baby
That's
boy.
our newest rescue.
He's my little boy.
That's Astro.
That's Astro with the bad breath. Does your dogs have bad breaths?
Mine does not, but I brush his teeth.
Is that what it is? We have to brush his teeth? He's got the stinkingest breath.
And fun fact, if you brush your dog's teeth, or cat, you will extend their life exponentially.
How am I going to brush his teeth? They won't even let us.
Toothbrush.
Yeah, you try.
I can brush his teeth.
Well, you order special toothbrushes. You can get one that goes on the finger, so then it's more like you're massaging his teeth, but it's brushing them.
You use regular toothpaste?
Nope, you get doggy toothpaste.
Okay, we got to get doggy toothpaste.
I want to get like mouthwash for his halitosis.
We have three rescues. So this is Astro. He's 2 years old. We've had him for 3 months, and he's 5 pounds, fully grown. He's adorable. He's like the cutest little thing, and I got him to be my dog because I wanted a little dog, but he really likes Ron, so he follows Ron everywhere. So that's Astro. Then we have a 35-pound dog, and her name's Brandy, and she's an old English Sheepdog Terrier mix. And then we have a 130-pound Brazilian Mastiff, Fila Brazilian Mastiff, who is also a rescue, but he doesn't like anybody, so only the family can pet him.
Now, what about your dogs?
That's ridiculous. That's a giant dog.
Yes.
Let me hear about your dogs.
I have one. He's a Border Terrier mix. He is also a rescue. I actually found him on a film set in Florida. His name is Solomon because we were filming the movie Song of Solomon. And he was a very feral, scared 2-year-old feral dog. And it took me about a week to get him to eat out of my hand. I was giving him turkey and chicken. And then we just became best friends.
I love it. We got because I'm from Florida originally, and we were visiting my parents when we got the other 2 dogs, not this one, but we got both the bigger dogs in Florida, one at the Big Dog Rescue Ranch, and the other one, Ron had a dream about a number in a letter, and we went to the pound, and underneath the number in the letter was the dog, and we took that dog home.
The letter was B, and the number of the cage, exactly as I dreamed. And we named her Brandy after the B. Good thing you don't have cats, because I would have said to you, tell me about your pussies.
Well, I do actually. I'm an animal lover.
You all have dirty minds. What dirty minds you people have?
She does have a cat.
Oh, you do have a cat. So how's your pussy?
She has 3 cats.
Well, how are all your pussies?
They're lovely.
Now, meanwhile, listen to me.
Wait, let her answer
Wait,
about the pussies.
you gorgeous thing. I have never seen any of your work. Why?
I don't know. That's tragic. You should start. I would recommend Song of Solomon or Truth or Dare. I'll send you a DM and hook you up with a copy.
Please. And I've never ever seen your work. Well, I'm new to the horror movies anyway. I've done the traditional films, Charlie's Angel, that kind of stuff. So I've only done 3 horror films, and I have 4 more to do. So I'm learning. I'm learning a lot about horror movies.
Actually, hang on. Before you,
wait, I have to finish my question. Did you work in traditional movies before horror, or did you go directly from who you are to horror?
So I started working in the Midwest. So I was Ohio-based, and I had a day job. I was a fashion designer at a major retailer. So I started acting as a way to deal with my speech issues because my corporation job thought that I spoke too fast. So I just started taking acting classes, and then that led into taking every class I could because I fell madly in love. So then I just started doing indie films, and indie films in the Midwest are mostly genre. Most of them also don't get finished, but they're mostly genre. So I just started, for me, as an actor, I don't care about the genre so much as it's like the character and the journey. So you don't act a drama, you don't act a horror film so much as you're a character in the circumstance. But horror films are so much more fun to play. And I think typically the crews on horror films are much more fun. I have done drama, I've done comedy, I've done improv, scripted, I've done television, I've done TV, and now I've done a little bit of studio films and a little bit of network TV, but I still primarily focus and still love and am obsessed with indie film. So that's where
you became a big star in film and horror film. Jimmy's telling me all about you. You've got quite a background.
Thank you. It's been a lot of work, but I'm a big fan of the hustle, and there's no better day than a day on set. So I'd rather be filming than doing anything else.
So hold on. Before we get going, first of all, we have a chat room filled with people. Basically, right now, from what I see, Hub Reynolds Jr. joined us too. But we've got Canada, we have Germany, we have Australia, we have lots of people in the United States, the UK. So just say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Hi, guys, especially my fellow Canadians. I'm Canadian by birth, so hi.
Yeah.
Where are you from in Canada?
I'm from Owen Sound, Ontario, which you've probably never heard of because no one ever has.
No, I know Ontario because my ex-wife was from Ontario.
So Owen Sound is a very small town about 2.5 hours north of Toronto.
Okay, I know where you are.
Then
that's really woods out there. That's farmland.
Oh, yeah.
Woods.
So you're going to be the only person we've ever had on who has a similar background from me, because I also was a clothing designer. I had a big clothing line. I dressed Elton John and Madonna.
Yeah, but she's not a homo.
Okay, she's not a homo. You're right. But we both have a fashion background. You look fabulous everywhere you go. You were so smoking hot. You were definitely at Shriekfest like the hottest girl. That you and Caroline Williams were so smoking hot.
Oh, Caroline was outrageous in the fishnet.
Wasn't she? And I love the fact that she's like, I am going to wear whatever the hell I want to wear. Like, damn you and your age restrictions. Fuck that. Love that.
Yeah, but she's not a teenager anymore. I mean, I know Caroline's age. I won't say it, but Caroline is no chicken.
And she looks gorgeous.
And she's gorgeous. She's got a body of a 25-year-old. I mean, she's incredible.
So then I want to go. So I
love Caroline, by the way.
I want to go on to, because I was looking at all your credits, and I didn't even know that you were in Mr. Hush. And Mr. Hush came out right after we started this show when we were just a radio show. And we had the whole cast of Mr. Hush on the show, and everybody was in it. And I know Brad Laree and Stephen Jeffries has been on a bunch of times, and Steve Dash was on a bunch of times. And he used to go when I lived in Florida when this show started, and Steve Dash would actually go to the W4CY studios because he lived down the street and sit with us in the studio and do the show. And Edward X. Young is in that. Ron loves Edward X. Young.
Ed and I are good friends. I mean, he does go on about Donald Trump, but that's okay. He's entitled to his opinion, and he's entitled to vote for whom he chooses. That's what America is all about.
But I'm also entitled to block him when his opinion bothers me.
No. I will never do that because that's un-American. The reason
all the time.
I block assholes, not Ed. I block people that send me pictures of 9-inch erections and they tell me what they want to do with it. I mean, I'm not interested in men that do that filthy shit.
So hang on, go back though. Anyway,
right, have you ever gotten guys that sent you dick pictures? Did you ever get dick pictures? Tell the truth.
I don't often actually know, but I'm very quick to block. So
But you never got a dick picture?
I have gotten a few, but not as many
Sure
as you
you
would
have.
think. Not as many as other people, because I don't usually.
I get a lot. Who wants to bang a 90-year-old man? I mean, I'm going to be 80 years old soon. Why do they want to have sex with an old troll?
Because you're gorgeous.
I mean,
hold on, let's go.
God.
I want to go back to Mr. Hush. So anyway, we did a lot of stuff to promote the film, and it really is a fun film. It's got some really fun stuff in it, and I didn't know you when that came out yet. I didn't know who you were, but Ron and I, before we moved to Palm Springs, we were considering moving someplace in, where was that place where all the film people live in Pennsylvania? And we were at a diner, and sitting down at the table next to us was David Lee Madison. And I was like, oh my God, like I never met him before. He had just been on the show, and we talked a bunch of times, and he had a new film coming out.
It's north of Philly, all the way up. It's called
Is it Scranton?
No, it's a lesbian town, I heard. More lesbian.
New Hope?
No, not New Hope.
No, New Hope. We
New
live
Hope
near
is
New
all
Hope.
gay guys. No, it was primarily more lesbians than gay guys, and it's all the way up past. I wish I could remember things. Past Watergate, Water Gap.
Delaware Water
Yeah,
Gap.
go about 30 miles north of Water
She's from
Gap.
California anyway. So, I mean, she lives in California, so she would know. But anyway, I didn't know that you were in the film, and then so really, that's the first body of your work that I've ever seen, because I've seen a bunch of your stuff, a lot of your indie horror stuff. I also know that you had a role in South 32, and Sean Kanan is in that, and he's a really good friend of ours.
Sean is a buddy. I love Sean.
I love that man. He is such a great, talented actor.
And a
why
fabulous
he's
buddy.
not in every indie is beyond me.
And he's a real McCoy buddy, and his wife Michelle is my dreamboat. You know, I had a dinner party here.
She was on set. She was so kind. Normally, like, when a star brings his significant other to set, and we were shooting like an hour-ish outside of LA, so they were actually staying in the mansion, which makes sense, right? Like that. None of this is uncommon. Like if you can stay close to set, then you do. But sometimes when stars bring their significant others, you're like, oh no, are they going to be controlling? Are they going to be like
annoying?
There, she was the kindest, sweetest, most lovely human being ever.
Well, I had a dinner party, and I got, as they say, in the weeds. You know, things got backed up. So Sean came in my kitchen. He said, I'll make the salad. Sean made the most incredible salad. And Michelle helped me with my dinner and getting everything out on time and not burning anything.
He has a book called.
I just thought how wonderful. Most Hollywood people are beyond that or above that. You know, they don't do that shit. Because I knew the great legends of Hollywood, Jane Russell, Cliff Robertson, Lauren Bacall, all the biggies. And they wouldn't do that. But Michelle did. She's a great guy.
We have to have you come one time. We do dinner parties.
Yes.
And lots of people come from LA for them, and then we mix the Palm Springs. Because we live in Palm Springs. We're not in LA. We live in Palm Springs.
But so many of our friends come to Palm Springs. And I said, when you
Palm
come.
Springs is like a short little drive. It's a nice little vacation area.
It is. Sadie and Miles come all the time to our house, and I know that you get along with Sadie because you guys gave each other a big hand. We love Sadie, and we love. I don't know if you know Miles.
love Sadie. You like Sadie. I love Sadie. Sadie's my adopted
another
daughter.
Actress where, like, she should be in everything. I actually think she's like the most talented blonde in her age bracket working in indie film. Period.
Oh, I do too. I agree with you.
I was in a film with her. I played a minister. 2 feet away from her, and I was watching her work, and I was astounded at how fabulous she is as an actress. I couldn't get over it. I had never seen Sadie work. I knew her socially, and here we are in the same film, which is called Clown Fear, coming out soon, I think.
Oh no, she's phenomenal.
She's wonderful.
Like, her
wonderful.
skill is off the charts. I actually first saw her in, I think, Wrong Turn 6.
Great movie. She was great in that movie.
Mm-hmm. And then I worked with
very
Anthony,
surprising.
her co-star, on The Tombs. So it's like such a small little incestuous circle.
No, it is so let's give people some of
I
your.
hope I work with you one day.
You will.
I would love that.
First of all, also then I didn't know you were in The Dead Matter, and like when that movie came out, we actually had Tom Savini and Andrew Divoff come on the show. These are all the things that when we first started, so I didn't really know what the hell we were doing, and we didn't know what we were doing.
That was the first movie I ever did. That was my like aha moment working on The Dead Matter. That was when I literally realized this is what I want to do with the rest of my life. I was actually still working my day job. And so a fun fact, I'm in 2 scenes. So I have a small role, and then I had so much fun. I was like, can I come back and be a zombie extra? Because my character, you know, is in a different scene. And they're like, you can, but you have to be like really heavily in makeup because you live. So
You
you
don't
can't
want
be
you to be recognized. Exactly.
Yeah. So, and
I-
I was like, I am so fine with that. And David Greathouse and his team made me into this burn victim zombie, and I'm literally covered head to toe with like dripping flesh. And it was also a very interesting experience because I've never walked around anywhere and had people audibly like gasp and take a step back. And I was walking on a horror movie set filled with zombies and like horrible stuff. And yet when people saw me, the makeup was so good, they would be like, oh, and take a step back.
And a beautiful girl like you, that's got to be a new approach.
One thing,
Most people, when they see you, they want to throw you down and kiss you because you're so pretty.
So one thing about you that is unusual that other people don't necessarily have the opportunities like you had to do is, I mean, like you say, Dead Matter was your first film, and although it's not a great film, it does have like horror icon-y people. I mean, right off the bat, you started making films with icons, and you've been in films with so many horror icons that's really helps, you know, build your whole career, actually, because you're like, oh yeah, I've been in movies with like Malcolm McDowell and Tony Todd and Michael Berryman and all the
Love
like people.
Tony Todd.
So she did a movie you guys called The Family with Angie Stevenson, who's getting ready to come on the show. Tony Todd, who's been on the show many times.
Tony's a good
Michael
guy.
Berryman, Kane Hodder, and Devaney Penn is the only one we haven't had on the show, but all the rest of them we've had. I mean, those are all like iconic people in horror, and everybody knows who they are, and everybody knows who you are. And I think it's so cool how your very first films, you were with all these like icons right off the bat.
Well, the icons they'll make you.
Because it was such a chill set, so like nobody acted like they were better than that. I didn't, you know, I never experienced that for actually some time in my career, because on that set, like even Andrew Divoff, I remember being so starstruck because I loved Wishmaster.
Yeah.
It's still one of like my favorite franchises. Is it the most beautiful movie? Absolutely not. Is it like the best? It's just really fun. So I have such an affinity for that. And he was one of my first horror crushes was Andrew Divoff. Yeah, hardcore, right? But who doesn't want a genie that can grant you any wish that's hot as hell?
I know,
Absolutely.
He's so in person. He's so like just oozing charisma and handsomeness and old Hollywood. Like he's just so
Love that.
lovely. So
When
I
I-
remember like I shot my first scene and then I came back like a week later and I'd met him obviously because I'm in the scene with him. And I saw him walking towards me because we were shooting at the Mansfield Reformatory. So there's like this big, huge, open, grassy space to like walk there. So I parked and I was walking over the grassy space towards the Reformatory. And I see him coming because obviously he's a very large man. You can't miss him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, that's Andy. Oh, he's probably not going to remember me. We met like a week ago. He's met 100 people. And I was like, it's okay. Don't be upset. It's fine. Like, don't be hurt. He's famous. You're not. It's cool. And I was like sort of just bracing myself. And as we got closer, before I even like made any indication of like hi or anything, he like yells out, Jessica, oh my God, it's great to see you. And he completely remembered me. He knew me by name. And you don't find that outside of the horror genre as often. So
I think that's
it's a
fabulous.
great
You know
start.
what? I find that the bigger the star, the nicer they are. My first film was with Sophia Loren and Tab Hunter. I was 19 years old. So now you know why I wanted to be in the business. I thought it was going to be superstars forever, which is not true, of course, but you know, you work hard. 58 years I'm in the business and still going. So I think that you're going to be in the business 58 years and still going.
So actually, I met Andrew Divoff the very first convention because my whole break into the whole world was I was a clothing designer and I would bring clothes and I would get the famous people to wear them to build my clothing line. And the very first convention I ever went to was MegaCon with Andrew Divoff, Michael Biehn, Lance Henriksen, Jennifer Blanc, and all these people. And I had a blast. And Andrew Divoff was so nice. And I can remember thinking about how a lot of the really bigger stars who've done a lot in the genre, they were very nice. And a lot of the up-and-coming ones weren't so nice. And I was like, I don't really get that. Like, why is it that the people who haven't done anything...
They're little shit asses who think who they are. And I vomit on them because I've dealt with quite a few of them. In one, I won't mention the film, but I worked with an atrocious human being in one of my last films. And an absolute nobody who carried on like he was the ultimate superstar Devo. And
You'll have to do after because I keep track of everybody that all my friends have these experiences with because I put them on my do not hire list.
Yeah, so you're gonna,
yeah. Well, I'm
you'll
not going to
want-
give a name because I
Not
won't
on
do
the
that.
air, but off
No,
the
not
air.
even off the air.
I will.
I'm not. No, I won't do that. A person who is so fucking unprofessional, greedy, selfish, and totally upstaging horror. And I've worked with some really great people in my 58 years. You just look at them and you say, but why? And then you understand why they never get anywhere. Because no one wants them. No one likes them. Now, you're a delicious little girl. I mean, you're lovely. I could see working with you in a second. You're not a diva or a pain in the ass. Angie Duke is a sweetheart.
Augie Duke.
Audrey Duke, rather.
Augie.
Oh my God,
Augie. I love Augie. Huh?
She's so great. I haven't actually worked with her, but she's on my list of people
I
to hire.
work-
I do.
I
I do encourage you to when people ask for a name, I do encourage you as a filmmaker. I see so many casting choices for the roles that I am hiring for. And if I get insider information about how someone is on set, it's so beneficial for everyone. Because several reasons. Number one, if I hire an asshole and he's ungrateful, he can cause he can totally ruin a set and totally ruin so many other people's wonderful experiences. But also keep in mind, if I hire that asshole because he did a good audition, not being aware that he's an asshole, he's a nightmare to work with, I'm also not giving the opportunity to somebody who might be really, really appreciative. So for me, sharing information like that, maybe don't trash talk people, obviously, but I'm a big fan of when people ask, I absolutely will tell you behind the scenes my experience working with someone, good or bad, from a professional standpoint. I'm not going to call them names. I'm not going to be unprofessional. Everything I do is going to be within my legal rights to be this is my experience. You can work with them or not. But I do think it's really important we share that information, because I also think that we need to not allow that to be a thing that gets hired or to be considered acceptable. And I find on a film set that one bad apple can really spoil the whole bunch. So for me, it's crucial. So I actually check at least 5 references for every actor I hire on set. And even then, sometimes I've hired people, I'm like, why didn't you tell me? I'm like, well, I didn't want to trash talk the person. So I just didn't respond. And I was like, I wish you would have, because then I wouldn't have hired them. And my life would have been easier. My movie would have been better.
There are actresses that I have worked with that were very famous, and their reputations were horrible. That they were cruel, mean, cold, vicious. They stopped the set. They took fits. They did all kinds of shit. Not true, because I worked with them and they were absolutely delightful. So it depends on who tells you the story in our business.
Of course.
You can't. There's a reason why people behave as they do on a set, and that's what you have to find out. What caused it? I know Betty Davis, for one. She didn't like directors that were making her out to be less of an actress, and she fought with them because she said to them, "I'm a better actress than you are a director," and that's poison in the business. You don't say that.
That's different, though. That's Betty Davis.
But I know that. Wait a minute. Betty Davis or an actress in a horror movie doesn't matter. It's still a film, and there's consequences and there's reasons why people behave. This guy that I'm talking about is just a bitch because I met him. I met him prior to the film at a dinner. We went to a restaurant together, and he was a horrific human being then, and I hated him then. Well, anyway, on the set, he said to me, "I hate you." I said, "That's good. I'm glad now I don't feel guilty about hating you."
Anyway,
when you have that kind of friction, it does sort of cascade down the line and cause a lot of shit. So I agree with you. I agree with you.
And then making that choice so that people can choose to listen to the advice or not listen to the advice. Because you can't judge or determine how someone's going to take the advice that you give them. For me, it's just, here's my experience, take it or leave it, no judgment either way. But I do think we need to share it because in my experience, I had a nightmare actress on my movie set and nobody warned me about it. In fact, several people lied and said that she was great, gave me a very stereotypical template answer. And after the shoot, I did reach out to them and I said, hey, I want to have an open and honest conversation about this actress that I asked you about. I was like, she was very different on my set. Here's my experience. And what I found is, for the most part, they just didn't want to say anything bad, but they had very similar experiences. So what I explained to them is I was like, my life would be so much better. My movie would be better had you just been honest with me. And also for 2 things. So number one, even if I chose to hire her after telling me to, knowing that the things that I was going through were a patterned behavior, I would have addressed them sooner and differently. Because they all came out of left field for me, there was issues with her doing drugs and drinking and not knowing her lines. So I felt like in hindsight, I was like, could have been more aggressive and assertive rather than handling it nice had I known that these were repetitive issues. So I do think for me, it's all about open communication. But I do check references. It's really sad when people don't share their honest experience. And I personally believe you should be held accountable to everything you do, whether it be good and bad. And also, nobody's perfect. I am not perfect. There are people where you're like, oh my God, this person said that you walked up to or that he tried to talk to you and you said, do not talk to me. I don't like you. And I'm like, I totally said that. Like, you might not like that, but for me, I don't want to waste your time. If I don't like you, I won't waste yours. Let's just part ways and move on.
I love it.
Well,
Okay.
that's basically how I am also, but not quite as blunt. I do it in my own fashion. But I know one thing, and I worked with, and I won't say who it was, but she's such, well, I will say who she was.
Don't say names.
She's an Academy Award winning actress, please. Her initials are.
Don't do that. Just tell the
All right.
story because we got other things to talk about.
Anyway,
Yeah.
she is so wretched on set. I mean, she was the most horrific human being, a beast. But her performance was so fabulous that the movie needed it. So everybody kissed her ass and took her shit because she made the film better. And I believe sometimes the actresses that can do that and have that kind, or actors that have that kind of control over a film, exercise their bad manners.
True,
Now,
but
would-
I just
now, wait a minute. If you could,
a better one.
but wait. No, I want. If you could get Brad Pitt in the movie, and you heard he was a horror, would you put up with his horror just to have him in your movie?
Here's a caveat. So what would determine if I would put up with poorly behaved people on set is if they counted for foreign sales to a significant number. I'm willing to suffer with somebody who's difficult to work with if they can get me over $1 million in foreign sales, 110%. Not so much about the performance. I care less about the acting skill and more if they account for foreign sales money. And
Right.
Brad Pitt's a name that I could sell him for at least 20 million foreign. So
Right.
he's literally a $20 million price tag. So for me, yes, if you are difficult to handle, but you bring me $20 million, I will figure it out. For me, if you're just a really talented actor, when I turn on the camera, I don't give a fuck. Because guess what? I know so many talented actors.
That's right.
We
The
live in a
dime a
town
dozen. Dime a
filled with
dozen.
talent.
Absolutely.
you're right about
You're
that.
totally right. Well,
It's so cool,
no,
too. Wait,
hang on 1 minute. Let me conclude this. The reason I brought this subject up and keep it going is because we have so many young people
That's what I
out
was
there
gonna say.
who want to be actors. Now you've heard it. You've heard it from all of us. Do not be a diva, a prima donna. Do not look in the mirror and think you are the best thing since Carvel ice cream, because you're not.
And there's 50
Remember
people just
one
as good as
thing.
you right
Remember,
behind you.
yes. Remember one thing. You are paid to perform. You are paid. You don't go there and do it as a favor.
Correct. And also, like, even if you're not paid, even if it's an unpaid set, you made the choice to be there. When you are offered a job or a gig of any time, regardless of pay, you have a choice. You can say yes or you can say no. If you say yes, the expectation is you're going to do the job to the best of your ability. And in a movie set, that means also being a decent person when around other people on set, whether you are acting in the scene or not, period. You know, and I think sometimes people forget that.
Well, I think I mean, sometimes they forget it, but most of the times they just get so, I've seen actors years ago when I started off in the business. There was a whole bunch of us, like Robert Redford people, all young guys trying to get in the biz. And I've watched them over the years become famous and become rotten. They lost that wonderful ability they had when they were starving actors. There's a few I could think of, but I won't name. But they just changed, and they let the mighty power.
Because when so many people are constantly fawning over you, it's easy to alter
Forget
your
who you
own
are.
self-perception.
Absolutely. But
I
that's
usually
why.
tell people, like, make sure you're a strong person. Like, you have to, in my opinion, the best actors are people that started their journey or throughout the course of their journey became 100% person, right? Like, they know who they are. They're a good person. They strive to be better every day. And then they happen to also do this craft that hopefully they love and they're great at. But you're not coming in being like an 80% person or 70%,
If I were to hire people today, I would hire Augie, because she's fabulous. I would hire my Sadie. I would hire Felissa. I would hire
Lorene Landon. You like?
Oh my
She's not a
God,
horror movie,
Lorene Landon is probably the only one I would hire as a star of stars. She's phenomenal. Do you know who Lorene Landon is?
I don't, but apparently I should.
Oh my God, you've got to have her. She just finished a fabulous movie where she plays this outrageous, drunken, nasty bitch, and she's married to, what's his name?
Bruce Dern.
Bruce Dern, and the film is coming out soon, and it's a fabulous film. She has worked with all the mighty ones. She's gorgeous. She's a blonde sex bomb.
She's an older actress, you know, the mother.
But she
plays
looks
the mothers and grandmothers.
Yeah, she looks fabulous. And she, in person, she is the shyest, most unassuming human being you'll ever meet. She's like almost timid. Yet when she performs, my God, there's another human being in there.
So hold on. I want to take the conversation back to Jessica Cameron. First of all, you guys, holidays are coming up. You want to see Silent Night. Jessica, that's one of your earlier films too, right?
Yes. Well, it was one of my first films I did once I moved to LA. And it's with Stephen C. Miller. Ironically, we shot that up in Canada. It was shot in Winnipeg, and it was like the first year that we didn't have snow.
And you guys, this has like an all-star cast. Malcolm McDowell, he's been on the show. Courtney Palm's been on the show. She was also in True Blood, you guys. It's got Jamie King, who everybody knows who Jamie King is. Donal Logg.
My favorite role of Courtney's, for the record. Like some of her scenes are phenomenal. So it's just great.
Jamie King, Brendan Fair, you guys. I don't know how you pronounce his name. Donal Logg, but he's like the guy from the Batman TV show, and he's been in a million things. So this is like A-list. I mean, these aren't like B-movie actors. These are all like A-list people. This is a fabulous film, and it's a Christmas film, you guys, and Christmas is coming out. If you want to see some great horror movies, Truth or Dare, Jessica actually wrote it, directed it. She's one of the stars of it. And tell us a little bit about that, because that was your first writing role, right?
That was. So I had this idea that I couldn't, that wouldn't leave me. And what I've started to do since, this was around 2011. So in the 8 years that have followed, now when I have an idea that won't leave me, I start writing it down. And for me, if a script or if a concept stays with me where I think about it when I dream, when I sleep, I find myself drifting back to it, then I try to get it written into a full-length script. Because for me, how that works is it's always something that I haven't seen before, typically. So to me, those are the best movies to make. Because I personally don't feel like we need another Halloween remake. I feel like Carpenter knocked it out of the park. Rob Zombie
I agree.
tried.
So true, so true. Absolutely.
I want to see new tales. I want to see fresh original content.
Have you seen Blind yet with Sarah French?
She was
I have not.
with us.
Are you at the premiere with us? Blind.
Yeah.
I loved Blind. It gets away from the slaughterhouse movies. It had a story. It had intrigue. You know, driving in, I said to Jimmy, Sarah French can never hold a movie. She's like Sex and City, Sex and Nakedness. She's not an actress. I never saw her work anything good. Well, I sat in the theater fainting. Sarah French was fabulous, winning awards all over the place. Marcel Waltz is a brilliant director, and he's only starting off to be good. I mean, these are people who are changing the horror movie industry. People now are doing more Hitchcockian.
I don't think that's a great representative. I don't think of Blind as a horror movie. To me, it felt like a drama for most of the film. But yes, I do think in all genres, we need more people making original tales. Like things that haven't been.
And it was Hitchcockian. That's what I liked about it.
Hold on, because she was telling us about her film Truth or Dare, and you interrupted her.
Did I?
Yeah, go back to Truth or Dare.
Sorry about that.
Essentially, I had this idea that wouldn't leave me, so I started writing it. I had a co-writer, John Higgins, who was great, and we wrote down the script. And then by fluke, we ended up falling into the money, which is also the best way you can ever raise money, is to fall into it. So we fell into the money, and then the whole point was, okay, I just have to find a director, because most of it was cast. I wrote the script around people I knew, and at the time was really close to. So I think that that's also really smart. Like if you're wanting to direct something or get into film, write around locations and people that you know and have access to, because you can kind of guarantee like, okay, you can write a role that you know that person can play well, which is also really helpful. So then I had to find a director, and then we couldn't find a director. We had 6 on the list, all of who are incredibly talented in their own right. 3 of them said they wouldn't do it for dates, but they could do it if we pushed the dates. But then as soon as we started pushing the dates by 6 months, first of all, now everything's out of whack. Now the contract with the money doesn't make sense. That would have to be revised. And then some of the actors can't do it. Like, this person can't do it if it's this date. This person can't do it then. So everything became kind of a mess. And then the other 3 directors came back and said they'll do it on the dates with the budget, but they wanted to tone it down. And I wrote it as a graphic, vicious torture film. I wanted it to be shot and done as a graphic, vicious torture film because I love torture. It's super fun for me in movies. So for me, I didn't want to tone it down. There's one scene at which point, like, one of the director was like, that is an abomination. That should never happen. And I was like, actually, that's why I think it should happen. You're right. It's so disgusting and vile, but I think it's super fun. And it's like a 4-minute scene in the film.
Wait, I have a question for you, though.
Yeah,
I have a better one. Wait, what about that? Wait, I want to ask you, what about the Caterpillar film?
Oh, Human Centipede. Did you like this Human Centipede?
Huh?
I like it, but I don't love it. I'm more of like, I love a Serbian film. I love Salo.
Oh my God, a Serbian film was very violent. Wait, tell me.
I Human Centipede, but back to Truth or Dare. So then one of the actors actually mentioned to me, you know what, you should just direct it. And then I kind of like joked about it to my producer, and my producer was like, well, you talk about all the shots, you talk about how you want the scenes to be done, why don't you direct it? And then it just became an obvious choice. So I did, and I had a great experience. So then from there we did festivals. It won 37 awards, screened over 50 festivals all around the world. So one of the most award-winning indie films I've ever heard of. And it got huge international recognition. We went through distribution. We actually went through distro with Invincible Films, which are the same company that released a Serbian film. So it did really well. And then Mania was my second film, and then I've directed a third film since then that's in post.
So tell me, how do people see Truth or Dare? Like, is it out someplace? Is it?
Yeah, you can purchase it on Amazon and other sites. You can also watch it on Amazon Prime right now, and you can DM me if you want a signed copy because I still have some of them left. But it's really readily accessible if you're in America. I know if you're in the UK or Germany, it's a little bit harder to find. Germany did release these beautiful media books, but I believe they're all sold out. So if they do a great, I'll share with that.
So now, how do you like doing the horror stuff? Because I also know you were like on a TV show, Brides of Beverly Hills, where you were a bridal stylist, and I guess you brought in all your fashion, stuff with that. Like, how does like reality TV for you compare to like being on, actual fantasy, fake, storytelling movies? Like, did you like being on a reality TV show?
So here's what I love. So I love filming, right? Being on a film set is fun, regardless of that set. So reality show is still super fun. But my heart is film. My heart is with a character. Obviously, in Brides of Beverly Hills, I sort of played a caricature of myself. But here's what I loved about it. Number one, the crew was amazing. Number two, reality show is very like go, 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 go. There's very little originality, right? So every episode is pretty much the same. On my case, it was the crew would go early morning to the bride and groom's house and do an introduction, usually get a shot of them in their backyard or a shot of them by their mantle, do a little bit of intro so that the audience knows who they are. Then they would come to Hollywood, or it was actually West Hollywood, adjacent to Beverly Hills, to shoot the actual wedding dress shop and the process. So I wouldn't even have to show up till like 11 or 12 most days. I would usually be on hours. Yeah. So it's all regimented, right? Like they all know. So like literally I would show up at like 11 or 12, they would approve my hair and makeup. They don't have hair and makeup on sets, by the way, on reality shows for the most part. And then they would just be like, okay, pull your 3 dresses. Because I had a fashion design background, they didn't really care after the first one. Like the first one, they kind of micromanaged that process. And then for the rest, they're like, pull whatever you want. So I would usually meet the bride at this point. And if the bride was a dick to me, I gave her really tacky dresses. And if she was nice to me, she got pretty dresses. Nobody cared. They just had to look.
That's not fair. That's not fair theater.
That's hilarious, though.
If you treat your wedding dress consultant poorly, yeah, she's not going to dress you well. I'm putting you in like the frou-frouiest 80s glitter mess that I can find. So that I know isn't going to fit you and not going to look good. And that's what you have to deal with. So then we would try the 3 dresses on. They would make a selection. We would cheers. And then I would go home. And it was always like literally, I don't think I worked I don't think I ever reached 7 full hours. Like, because again, it was just like it's a
Very
well-oiled machine. So
I love it. All right,
yeah.
so
Right,
That is
so I
so
like
fun.
that. I like the paycheck, and I like the fact that at the time I had 2 nieces. They're now like 15 and 13, I think, up in Canada. So growing really fast. But at the time, they were really young. So the only thing that I'd ever done that they could watch was Brides of Beverly Hills.
oh yeah,
So I
'cause they
also
can't watch
like
those
that.
scary movies.
Right.
Yeah,
I love
and
it.
also Brides of Beverly Hills was huge in Canada, Germany. Like, it did really good. Like, I literally got a lot of Twitter followers from Brides of Beverly Hills at the time because it did so well internationally. The one thing that sucks about reality shows, so just for everyone watching, if you're an actor, they don't pay residuals.
Yes, I knew that.
That's
Okay,
the fact that it's played for 5 years.
let's tell everybody all your social media handles. I know your Twitter is at Jessica Cameron _. What do you
Yes.
got for Instagram?
Instagram, I'm actress Jessica Cameron, and Facebook, I'm just Jessica Cameron. There's a fan page. The friend page is full, although I am going to kick someone off to add you, darling. I just haven't had a chance to do that yet.
Yay!
What are you on Facebook?
I'm just Jessica Cameron.
Jessica Cameron. Okay, and so
Are you overloaded, or can we be friends?
no, she said she's going to kick somebody
I'm
off.
overloaded, but I'll kick someone off.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Hi,
Friend me.
Felicia.
Ron Russell's show. I'm Ron Russell's show. Friend me.
I will.
I think you're terrific.
I think she's terrific too. I think it's so much fun. So we only have a couple of minutes left. Let's say, okay, first of all, tell everybody like what are some of your favorite horror movies that you actually like? We're going into Halloween. What movies are you going to like watch to make sure you watch to get in your annual October Halloween movies?
Yeah, and what are you dressing like for Halloween?
Entire franchise, with the exception of the Blumhouse one.
Okay.
So I watch all of it for me. I like to watch all the Child's Play franchise as well. And
Me
then
too.
right now, I'm really feeling like vampire-y witchy. So I'm going to source out all of those type of films because I just want to sort of saturate and immerse myself in that world. So I'm really, really vibing with that. So I'm going to comb through. There's like been a whole bunch of indies coming out. So there's right now in LA, there's Beyond Fest going on and Shriek Fest just happened. And then we have Scream Fest coming up. So I'm going to watch a lot of the movies that are playing with those festivals and support my fellow friends.
I
know that I
That's
have
great.
the Actual Porn Killers screening coming up at Beyond Fest, which I couldn't be more excited because Oliver Stone, Woody Harrelson, and Juliette Lewis are all going to be there speaking. And that's just so phenomenal.
I love it.
Now, what are you dressing as Halloween?
Right now, we don't know. We are torn. I always do group costumes with my best friends. So right now on the table is The Witches of Eastwick, or
love it.
Clueless, or Spice Girls.
Witches of Eastwick, you would be gorgeous as a witch. Are you kidding? I love it. With wild, frizzy, crazy hair and
Yeah,
long
the
nails. Forget about it. That's you. You'd be the perfect witch. The perfect witch.
So now let's do a hypothetical question.
A glamour witch, not an ugly witch. A beautiful
of
witch.
No,
course she's
like
gonna be
Michelle
a girl.
Pfeiffer in The Witches of Eastwick.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
there you
I would
go.
love to see the wild hair and the wild makeup and just that whole other kind of a witch.
You guys too, everybody listening, just Google search Jessica Cameron and then hit images, and you can see literally like how gorgeous she is because you're just gonna.
Yeah, you
faint.
got to see her in person. I love her nose.
she'll
Is your
faint.
nose your own, or do you have that done?
Yep. Nope, it's my own.
You have the most
The only thing
beautiful
on me
nose.
that's fake are my teeth. My teeth
Huh?
are fake, but everything else is real.
No, but your nose, I kept looking at your nose because I'm a nose freak. Many women not attractive because they have bad noses, but you have one of the most beautiful noses. It's perfect. Perfect nostrils,
yes.
perfect tip. No,
So hold on, real
I
quick.
know it's a stupid thing to comment on, but
because we only have we have like 3 minutes. So how about this? A hypothetical question. Now, you've already worked with so much royalty in the horror genre and in acting in general. If you could work with any male or female actor, living or dead, who would you like to be in a movie with, and who would you like to work with?
Marilyn Monroe and or Jamie Lee Curtis.
Okay.
Hands down. Right. I think that Marilyn Monroe taken way before her time. I actually think she was a much better actress than she's given credit for. I think her persona was just so big, people failed to see past it. And I think the time period that she became famous in really had limited roles for women who looked like her. I would love to see what she could do in 2019. Jamie Lee
Okay.
Curtis, I think, is obviously one of the most business savvy, beautiful human beings of all time. And she's an icon for so many great reasons. So she would definitely be on my list.
Ron was friends with her dad.
yeah, Tony Curtis was a buddy of mine, and we always talked about Jamie Lee, and he, she's a toughie. She was not an easy child to raise, and Tony had a lot of problems with her. She's very headstrong, and that shows in her business sense and in her
That's why
work.
she's so successful
But Marilyn
now.
Monroe, Jane Russell was Jane Russell was my best friend, my sister, and Jane and I would talk about Marilyn. And Jane said Marilyn never acted. Marilyn read lines. That's who Marilyn was. Marilyn really was that innocent little dove. She wasn't pretending to be so. She was that way, off camera. One of the guys kissed Marilyn Monroe, and then afterwards, somebody said to the guy, "What does it feel like being kissed by Marilyn Monroe?" And he said, "Being swallowed alive." And Marilyn began to cry and ran off the set because that upset her. She was a very sensitive, timid little girl.
Hold on. I want to go back, though. Okay, so those are your girls. Now give me a guy, because we got to go, and I want to hear who she is.
I'm loving Chris Browning. I don't know if you're familiar with his work. He just started a friend's film called Greenlight, and he's such an...
He's our next guest. I'm hanging up with you to bring him on.
And he's coming on.
I love him and adore him. I sat at the same table with him, and I had to not fangirl all over him. I'm like, he's so handsome. It's stupid.
Okay, hang on. Hang on. Stop. I got to fix you up with him. Am I going to say...
No, he's married with kids.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. He's married with kids,
Oh,
unfortunately.
sorry about that. Otherwise, I was going to say, ask you out Saturday night,
No, he's a very talented actor. I'm super excited. We have him coming on in like 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
And so we're gonna hang up with you to go to him. But that's a doable thing, though. I think that you and Chris Browning could easily work together in a film. You're both super talented.
He's on my list of most hires because it's phenomenal.
I love that. All right.
Not only are you beautiful, you're well spoken and you're intelligent and you know your business. So I'm impressed. And I look forward to seeing you on a social base so we could talk more.
I would love that, darling. And thank you so very much for having me on the show.
Our pleasure. You're a angel.
All right, you guys. So everybody, this is Jessica Cameron. Follow her on social media. On Twitter, she's at Jessica Cameron _. On Facebook, she's Jessica Cameron. She also has a fan page. And on Instagram, she's actress Jessica Cameron. I got it all right?
You did.
All right, I love it. All right, thank you so much, Jessica. Good luck with everything.
See you at the next red carpet.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye, honey. Bye, sweetheart.
Everybody in the chat
What a
room loves
lovely
her,
girl.
too.
Very sweet girl. Very smart. Very intelligent girl.
All right, everybody, and definitely check out all of her work. She's got a great body of work, and she's a lot of fun, and so we enjoy it. And Scott and Dee. Oh, Dee's not there, right, Scott?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, Dee's
Oh,
back.
you're
We got
back?
her back. Yeah.
I am. Good old Comcast decided to have an outage in my area, but I'm back.
Oh, how long have you been missing?
I just missed 15 minutes. That's it.
Okay, you'll have to edit
I told you to fix the short in your vibrator that you were knocking out the power.
No, it's all good. Scotty J's going to send me the MP3 to this video, and it's going to act like nothing ever happened.
Oh, I love that. Because Scotty J's like a fucking genius.
I
love it.
That's because he masturbates a lot. It exercises his brain.
Thank
you. Oh, that's why I'm so smart too, or no?
Who, you?
But everybody was still watching live on ITV, so nobody missed a beat. Nobody.
Yeah, everybody's watching us on Talk 4 TV, and we look really good today.
Yeah, y'all do.
Look how good we look today. We look
We
really
look good. I look like a fat old man.
No, you don't. Nobody can see your stomach.
I really don't like this round neck shirt.
Oh, well, you picked it.
Well, I know, but I don't like the way it photographs. It looks like ugly.
I think you're sexy, Ron. Get it?
I should open a button and have some cleavage.
So we want to say hi because Hub Reynolds Jr., we didn't get to give him a great welcome. What's up, Hub Reynolds Jr.?
Pillow off. I meant to tell you.
Oh, Hub Reynolds Jr., hello. Welcome to the show. Glad to see you in the chat room. B. Claudia joined us. What's up, B? Yay. So happy to see you. I'm glad all you guys liked Jessica Cameron. We love her.
She is so nice and so bright, and that broad knows her biz. I mean, she can snap them out in a second. She knows her stuff.
And when I say gorgeous, I mean like just
Yeah,
drop
you have
dead.
to see her in person, folks. Unfortunately, the camera doesn't get who she is. In person, her cheekbones, her nose, her chin, her lips, her eyes, so perfectly symmetrical. She's really quite a beauty.
And I've already known her because I see her at all the events, but Ron didn't know who she
I've
was.
seen her at the events, but I never met her. I never knew who she was. That she was just another beautiful face among many. But now that I know her, I like her a lot, and I'll certainly at the red carpets chat with her.
Hub Reynolds Jr. wants to know, how do you fall into money? Hub, I don't know how either, but if you figure out, let me know, because I need about $20 million.
Who wants to know?
Hub
wants to know
Because
that.
Jessica said that one film, it just fell into money.
Hub. The only way to fall into money is have your girlfriend or she your wife yet?
Girlfriend, I think.
Girlfriend.
Fiance.
Have her drive the car, and you go in the bank with 2 guns. And that's the best way to get fast money. Let her be the getaway car.
That's how you fall into it.
That's how you fall into
And then you
money.
fall into jail, too.
Not necessarily. Bonnie and Clyde got away with a lot of bank robberies.
That was before social media and cameras on every corner.
Well,
every hand.
Yes.
Well, what you could do is you could pimp Danielle off and make a lot of money.
Twism
maybe.
says that's the mystery of life. I got
Right, Danielle? Can Hub pimp you off and be your pimp?
I think I would go for high dollar.
And you would go for high dollar. So there you go, Hub. Pimp off Danielle. Our Danielle.
You pimp her. You only get 10% though, Hub. She gets the other 90 because she's got to do all the
Meanwhile,
work.
Hub is so talented and he does such fabulous music. You know what, babe? Hang in there. You're on your way up. And fame and money is going to come to you very soon. Trust me. I'm a witch.
All right, so Scotty J.
Yep.
Is our second guest online?
If you mean Chris Browning, yep.
Okay, I told him we could probably call him at 10 after, but let's play a song. Let's do Drop Top Alibi, you guys, Summer Nights and City Lights. Do you guys both have that?
Absolutely.
Yep.
So we'll do it on Enjoy, and then once we do that, we'll call Chris Browning. How's that? All right, everybody. Now, this is the brand new single, Summer Nights and City Lights by Drop Top Alibi. The video just came out Monday. It's a great video. They're a great rock band, and here's the video for it. I hope you guys like it. Enjoy.
Summer nights and city lights, getting me high on their delights. I don't know where the sun goes down, but I gotta live fast to make
Drop Top Alibi, Summer Nights and City Lights.
Maybe he's got to bring his camera up a little bit.
Oh yeah, bring it up a little bit so we don't cut the top of your head off. Just like raise it up a little.
Little bit, not a lot. Little bit. Little bit.
A little more.
Yeah, that's good.
Little
That's good.
more.
That's good.
Little
And-
more.
and now you can see space between his head. That's good.
Good.
So say
Good.
something, Chris. Let's see if we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
There we go. We can hear you. Okay.
Good.
Hey, you guys, Scott, we're live, right? The video's done.
Better be.
Yeah.
Well, we're in big trouble.
It's still playing on my screen. All right, so we're going to introduce you. I just wanted to see you to make sure we can see you good. But
There's a delay, remember.
Yeah, I know. There's a delay. It just seems like a long one. All right, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, the incredibly fabulous, talented superstar Chris Browning. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you.
Was that an opening to vomit?
Oh,
yeah. Look how good we can see
Yeah,
him.
you look good.
Okay, now we can see you good.
Meanwhile, we got an admirer of yours.
Wait, let's introduce people before you start going
Oh,
into all
okay.
of that. All right, so before we get started, let me introduce you. I'll start off with our cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
Hey there.
Hey there.
Okay.
No, I got to introduce everybody. I don't know what's the matter
Oh,
with
shut
you.
the fuck up with this introducing bullshit all
All
the
right,
time.
so then we got the man behind the boards doing the. Oh, you can say anything you want. We got the man behind the boards here. We
Drives
got,
me crazy with this shit.
I know, but people don't know. It's going on Comcast. It has to be like known. So now I got to do it over because you'd like wreck the whole thing, and I can't send it that way.
How about I shove this mic up your ass and you could sing.
All right, everybody.
Happy days are here again.
All right, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, the incredibly talented Chris Browning. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you very much.
All right, let me introduce you to everybody, starting off with my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
How do you do? It's such a pleasure having you on our show. I am absolutely thrilled and enthralled with your visit.
All right, then we got
best behavior now.
How's
there
that?
you go. Then we got the man behind the boards doing all our videography. His name is Scotty J. Scotty J, what's up?
Yo, Mr. Browning, welcome to our most dysfunctional family.
Thank you, Scott.
Then we've got the lady behind the boards at the W4CY Studios, Danielle.
Hello.
Hello, Danielle.
Now, don't ever be in her company. She's a quick twist. I mean, she'll bang you in a minute. She's such a horny broad. She can't wait for you to come on. She thinks you're hot and sexy.
And then we have a chat room filled with people. Say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Hi, chat room.
There you go. We got every country represented right now. So,
Cool.
all right.
Now, we just finished interviewing a certain magnificently gorgeous blonde actress who has worked with you.
No, she hasn't.
I thought she has. Or she will. She wants to.
I asked her who's her bucket list.
Oh,
of
yes,
somebody who
you're
she
her-
would like to work with.
And she wants to work with
she
you.
said, I want to work with Chris Browning, and she didn't know you were coming on next. She just said that.
Right. So I said, let me put in a couple of good words for you. Maybe he'll take you to dinner. And then Jimmy said he's married with 3 kids. And I said, so?
No, he's twice divorced with 3 kids.
Oh, okay. He's twice divorced with 3
So you're
kids.
single right now?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm calling her right back. She's gorgeous. She looks like Anita Ekberg, the most gorgeous blonde with big jugs, and
She
the jugs are
actually
real.
Said she ate dinner
Who
with
are
you
you
at.
talking about?
She said she ate dinner with you at Shriekfest, and she was so excited to sit with you. It was very difficult for her to not fan out. And her name is Jessica Cameron.
Oh, I'm
and she's a
fixing you up.
blonde.
She's gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she's a bright woman. She's a genius. Oh, I'm going to fix you up with Jessica. Now you're single. Oh, quick, get Jessica back. We could do a split screen.
Cameron, yes.
They could fall in love on our show.
You have to look her up, and you can see her.
Now I know who she is. Yes.
And
Oh,
she's a genius of a girl. She's a brilliant woman.
Yes, the same night you met us, you probably met her. Yes.
Publicity night. Yeah, in fact, I helped her with some of her she had that ring light.
Yes, she had the ring light. Wasn't that cool?
Right.
I want to get one of those on Amazon for my
Right.
phone. So everybody,
Wait, I met you that night for the first time. And remember you said to me after meeting me, you were thinking about going gay?
Yeah. It hasn't gone away. I can't shake it.
So first of all, everybody, we want to say congratulations to you. Your film Green Light won Best Film at
Yes, it
Shriekfest.
did.
So
It
congratulations.
did. Congrats, bud. You're
That's-
pretty good. You're a pretty good actor. A few more lessons, you'll be perfect.
So real quick, you guys, Shriekfest Film Festival, Greenlight is the name of the film. Stars obviously Chris Browning, Caroline Williams, Daniel Basutti, Chase Williamson. Those are the people I knew who I've met before. Writer director Grant Denman, who's a great director, and so congratulations. And from what we understood, because we talked a lot with the executive producers, the lovely married couple.
I love them. They're from Canada. What nice people. Pigeons, but nice people.
What's a pigeon?
Pigeons are nice people who put money in film. They're called pigeons or angels, depending.
Oh, okay.
A pigeon is like somebody that you can get their money.
It's a live one.
Huh?
Yeah, it's a live one.
A live one. Well, what'd you think of What's-Her-Face's outfit? Oh, my God, shameful. I was loving every minute of it.
Oh, he's talking about Caroline.
Caroline
Williams, like lace top.
Oh, her fishnet.
We were doing selfies, and I was posing with her. I put my camera up, and I took one, and she's like, "Wait a minute, don't forget the tits." I actually.
That's my Caroline.
Yeah.
I love Caroline.
These girls 63 years old and they still got it, and she's right.
Quiet.
Absolutely.
We're not supposed to say that.
Well, everybody knows.
Tells everybody.
She tells
she
everybody.
does. Well,
like
I'm
you.
79. I'm going to be 80 in May. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I
it is.
I tell everybody my age. I don't care. Caroline and I we have a handle on aging. Caroline's, so is my Lorene Landon. You know Lorene Landon?
No.
Gorgeous blonde, magnificent beauty. And
So hang
she's
on,
up there.
Before we move forward, first of all, you guys, this is Chris Browning, and if you don't recognize his face, like I recognized him as soon as we walked into the place because he's got such great body of work. He's really a phenomenal working actor. But I'm gonna brag for you because if you do it, it doesn't sound as cool as if I do.
It sounds narcissistic. Very. It sounds faggy and narcissistic.
So you guys,
don't wanna do
here's
that.
some of the people, and this is just some of them because when I was going down his IMDb to pick out movies and stuff and write down some of the famous people he's worked with, the list was so long that if you look at my page, I couldn't write anything else, and I only got like halfway down the list. So, but here's some of the fabulous people he's had an opportunity to work with. Gerard Butler, Titus Welliver, Mark Blucas, Will Smith, Joel Egerton, Noomi Rapace. I don't know how you pronounce it anyway. Ike Barinholtz, Jay Hernandez, Evan Rachel Wood, Jeffrey Wright, Ed Harris, Tandy Newton, James Marsden, Anthony Hopkins, Denise Richards, John Voight, Stanley Tucci, Michael Biehn, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Forrest Whitaker, Daniel Craig, Harrison Ford, Olivia Wilde, Abigail Spencer, Paul Dano, Chloe Grace Moretz, Richard Jenkins, Denzel Washington, Thomas Jane, Ron Perlman, Christian Bale, Sam Worthington, Helena Bonham Carter, Bryce Dallas Howard. Let's see up here in the front. John Bernthal, Benjamin Bratt, Jeffrey Donovan. I was in a bunch of episodes of Burn, whatever.
Nobody
that was,
gets
so I
his
let it
shit,
know.
Jimmy. Go on.
That's why I put him on the list, though. Bruce Davison, John Hurd, which I loved, Heather Graham, Robert Patrick, and that's like half his list, you guys. The guy's like worked with every major star on the planet.
We know a lot of these people. They've been on our show.
Absolutely.
And we've met them at
So
red
congratulations on like, oh my God, like I've been in all these things. And the first question I have to bring up in discussion, because you've been in so many major, like huge blockbuster, like billions of dollar films. And then you also do like these indie, like no budget, there's no money at all films. Like, how does that work for you? And like, do you like working on the little indie films? And I mean, obviously you're always like, you're the star of them. But like, how does that work for you? Because it's such a big difference between going from something where it cost $100 million and going to something where they cost $100,000.
It's called being
wait. Let him answer it.
I'm going to answer it with him. Don't fuck you. I'm going to hit you with this mic right on the head.
No.
It's called being a big fish in a little pond sometimes, or being a little fish in a big pond other times.
But he's actually a big fish
right?
in a big pond most of the time.
What he said. Exactly. I mean, people say, would you do small little independent films? And I'm like, yeah, if I can get one. You know, I mean, they're all the same. It's for me, it's just about working. I did 2 short films last year that. I did one this year. No. Yeah. Did one last fall. I did one this spring. There's no money in those. And I just like the script, and I like being on set, and I like working. And you know, one was about Alzheimer's, and I got to play, a guy in his late 60s who had Alzheimer's. That was like, yeah, I want to do that because I've never done that, you know. And and the other one was about a father who'd lost his mind over losing a daughter. That he just has this other reality that he's choosing to live in to avoid that grief. And both things that I've never explored. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it.
Those are exercise films. They're wonderful to do when you have characters like that, because you do broaden your horizons as an actor. You go places that you normally wouldn't. Every actor wants a challenge. I could play Alzheimer's very easily. I could just be myself. So it really wouldn't be any acting. It would be an Academy Award performance.
Yeah.
I love it. You gotta talk about it. Okay, so you did a movie Wild Card, and the only reason I'm bringing this film up, and I watched the film, but I don't remember who you are. Do you get killed in that? Did you get beat up by Jason Statham? I just want to talk because Jason Statham is his favorite action
actor.
person.
I love Jason Statham.
Do you get beat up by Jason Statham in it? Because we're gonna watch it again if you do.
Wait a minute, is Jason nice? Is he a good guy, a regular buddy?
The villain in it was the guy from what's his name? The guy from
This Is Us.
From This Is Us. Yeah, Villamelia
Milo Ventimiglia.
Yeah, that guy.
A bitch of a name for show business.
Yeah, but he was the villain in the movie, and myself and an ex-football player who's an amazing actor too. He's a beast. He makes me look like a toddler. God, what is his name? If he watches this, he'll kick my ass. I got to find out. Well, anyway, we were
wait, I asked a question about Jason.
Let him tell you about it.
We were the henchmen in it, and
okay, that's what I thought.
We're the guys that answer the door when he comes to the hotel and wants to get compensated for what happened to his girlfriend and she got beat up, right? And so they did a whole elaborate thing. Of course, it looks like we're going to take Jason Statham away and put him in a dumpster somewhere, but he proceeds to tear up everybody in the room, and I got beat up in a glorious way. I mean that's my thing. My bio on social media says that guy who died in that movie you like. That's kind of who I am. And they did a thing with that Phantom camera that shoots like 700 frames a second. It's a super high.
Right. Which makes me crazy. I hate that camera.
Yeah. Well, they brought that camera in and did a close up of him. He headbutts me in the face, and they just exploded my face. It was all in slow motion, and then I get thrown through this shower door and. He snaps my knee backwards, and we spent a whole day just beating my ass up.
I have news for you. Jason could beat my ass up any day.
So wait, is the actor's name Matthew Willig?
Yeah, Matt Willig.
Yeah, he's a big dude. He looks like a big dude.
Is Jason a nice guy off camera?
Jason, yeah, real sweetheart. Real nice guy.
He looks like a bud. Like he could be a buddy.
Love it. I just think it's fabulous. So one more real quick bragging thing. You guys, just to get an idea of some of the shows he's been on and movies he's been in. Angel Has Fallen, which we have seen recently. Bosch, Bright, Last Rampage, Shot Caller, Westworld. He's on Westworld, Agent Carter. He did an episode of Supergirl, an episode of Ray Donovan, which you get killed by John Voight in that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know John for a long time.
Wild Card with Jason Statham, you guys. He's on a bunch of episodes of Sons of Anarchy. The Philly Kid, which I liked a lot. I know that's an indie film, but it was good. Cowboys and Aliens, which is a great one. Let Me In,
that movie.
The vampire movie with Chloe Grace Moretz, which is a remake of a foreign film, a fabulous movie.
Excellent movie.
The Book of Eli with Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington kills you too, I bet, right?
Chloe Grace Moretz kills me too.
Yeah.
You're just a killer. Killer type.
Dark Country and Terminator Salvation, and you guys, and that's like 10 of like the 200.
You're in some really great films that I love a lot. John Voight I know very well, and he was a very quiet guy, very intense. How did you find him? The same way?
I realized early on we were going to be shooting this. That was 2 days of shooting that scene around the pool. I love being on big productions where, on a small movie, we would have shot that in an hour and moved on, but we shot for 2 days. And John was just such a humble guy. And I saw that he was going to let me just pump him for information the whole time I was there. I mean, I just was like, oh my God, I got John Voight sitting next to me for 2 days. I was asking him about Deliverance and this and Jane Fonda and all these. It was great. But he has that thing that all good actors have, where they're really not sure if it's working. Like he would do a take, and then he'd ask me,
right? What do you think?
How was that? I'm like, ask your fucking Oscar, John.
That's the insecure. I know John because his daughter, Angelina Jolie, who was Angie Voight, lived around the corner from we did. And my daughter Deirdre and Angie went to school and were best friends. So growing up, I met John many, many times. And I found him to be a very, very intense, quiet, introverted man who was a great actor.
Yeah.
Lousy father, but a great actor. So there you go.
Anyway, we don't want to say that.
Well, not lousy. He was not a loving man to Angie. He liked my daughter Deirdre better because she was funny and she would roll down the hill of Beverly Hills High and do crazy stuff. And Angie Voight was very quiet. I love Angie Voight, by the way. She's one of the nicest human beings in the world. You work with her, you're working with a pro and a sweetie pie. So she's got a heart of gold, that Angie. I love her.
So let's move to a different idea. So with all these accomplishments, do you still have to audition, or do you get to just hire, or do you just get hired?
Oh, I audition. I mean, once in a while I get offers, but they're for little movies or shorts or like I got an offer for Green Light. Obviously, it was just because it was a tiny movie. I mean, that movie was like $50,000 or something.
You're kidding. To shoot that film was $50,000.
And you watch, it's going to win awards all over the place.
Well, yeah. Betty Davis auditioned. She didn't like it. She told me. They had the nerve, she said, to ask me to audition. I'm Betty Davis. I said, yeah, well, did you audition? She said, hell no. She said they could watch all of my 146 films or something. But she didn't like to. But they asked it. One movie company asked Betty Davis to audition. She wouldn't do it. She wouldn't do it.
I love it. So what are your what are some of your most memorable, or tell us a story of something that happened that maybe people don't know on one of your big projects that's fun and interesting and exciting?
I got a couple, but one would probably be for me Book of Eli was a huge turning point for me because
career-wise.
Huh?
Career-wise,
as an actor, I mean, I had
character-wise,
just in belief in my abilities. I'd had big roles in tiny movies. I'd had smallish, medium-ish roles in big movies. Like I'd already been in 3:10 to Yuma, which I worked on that movie for 5 weeks and learned a lot from Christian Bale, who was a total sweetheart and very, very generous to me with things that he'd learned from other people like Michael Caine, but I can go into that story later. But
Michael's a wonderful person. I know Michael Caine.
I don't know Michael Caine. But
Michael Caine and his wife, they're delicious people. I knew them from years ago.
Everybody in the chat room is saying how much they love Book of Eli too. So tell us, why was Book of Eli the one that did it for you?
Well, because in 3:10 to Yuma, I basically, I'm just the out of focus deputy, in the background. And I had one big scene where I burned alive and died in the stage. But that was just me in the stagecoach screaming my ass off, let me out of here. But in Book of Eli, I was opposite Denzel.
Good actor.
In this big scene that shot for 2 or 3 days, and it's where me and my guys come up on him on the road and try to rob him, and it doesn't go.
Right, I remember that.
And we just walk through a little rehearsal, and I'm hiding behind this sign with my guys, and then he calls us out. He says that he can smell us a mile away or something, and And so my first line, we walked through the scene, and I talked to the director. It was the Hughes brothers, and Alan Hughes is the one that's really talking to the actors, and Albert Hughes is the one who's really kind of trying to cut it together in his head. He stays in the video village, and he's kind of, you're looking at the shots. And so I go up to Alan after the rehearsal, and I said, I feel like, because my first line is, what you got there in that pack? And I'm like, I'm way up here on the hill. I got to come down the hill, walk down the road. It's all that time passes before I can even tell that he's got a pack on. I feel like I should be saying some shit at the top of the scene too. And he just gave me the green light. He's like, man, you feel like saying something, just say it. So that's
generous actor.
Director.
Oh, generous director, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And so I was just hiding behind that sign for 2 days going, ooh, I know what I'll do, and I tried something new, and then I try something new, and the next do something else. And Albert Hughes is going crazy. He's talking to his brother, how are we going to cut this together? He's all over the map. This time he's singing and dancing, and he's using his walking stick like a cane and like a top hat and cane thing. And this one he's going completely crazy, and in this one he's using it like a gun. And Alan said, just let him go, man. Just let him go. It'll work. And so that's what happened. And then I had people like a friend of mine, Mike McCarty, who's a big special effects makeup guy. He goes, hey, did you hear Denzel? And because Denzel didn't really talk to me because he's all in his character, and he's probably not trying to see me because he's unable to see, whatever. So he would just go back to one after each take and just be over there. There was no how you doing, where are you from, nothing like that for 3 days. But he would talk to me if it was like, hey, on this take, I'm not going to say that line, so don't wait for it. And I'd say, cool. But he goes, did you hear that? And I go, no, what? He said, Denzel was walking back to one after that last take, and he looked over his shoulder at the director and pointed at you, and he said, that guy's good.
That's all you need.
That's all you need.
You didn't need much more. What movie that you were in that I really enjoyed was Aliens and Cowboys.
Cowboys and Aliens.
Cowboys and Aliens. I thought it would be a lemon and a bomb with the title. I mean, give me a break. Aliens and back in the Old West. But I really enjoyed it, and everybody in it was good. It was a good film. What have you got to tell us about the fun of that film? A lot of CGI in that film.
That film was just... I'd never been on a $200 million movie before. The money that they spent, we shot at Bonanza Creek outside of Santa Fe, which I'd done several other projects there. 310 to Yuma, that's where that was shot. But it's this big western town. It's got 2 crossroads, right? They lit the entire town, so like they didn't have to change. They didn't have to wait to move lights. It was just
camera setups. Light setups.
The whole town was surrounded by cranes with lights. So it was always lit. And they had these cables running down this street and then down this street that were suspended like 20 feet in the air between cranes. And they had these high-speed motor vehicles on them that were just, they just go 60 miles an hour down the cable. And they had lights coming out of them and stuff, and they would just paint the spaceships on later. And they had it all set up so when that laser hits that wagon, it explodes, and when it hits that house, it burns down. It was unbelievable. And
I would have loved to be on that set.
And we're supposed to be getting attacked by aliens, and the horses are freaking out. And of course, the horses really were freaking out because there's these things going down the middle of the road on them. So the horses didn't have to act at all. But basically, that was 6 weeks of going to work, and they're saying, "Here's your horse, here's your gun, there's your boss, Harrison Ford. Go to work." And so, I'd still like to be on that show today, and that was 10 years ago.
I love it.
Great movie. I totally enjoy it. And whenever it's on TV, I watch it just because of the effects were so good. And it was a very clever idea. It was different for a Western.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you were good. Everybody was good in the movie. So many movies are very good films, but the actors are not so great. Every now and then you get a good story with great actors, and that was one of them. Like last night, we saw Judy with Renee. She's outstanding. I'm voting for her, by the way, for Best Actress of the Year. Her performance is nonstop in every scene, imitating Judy Garland as best as she could. Exhausting work. I know what she had to go through. God knows how many takes they had to do on her scenes. For that alone, she should win the Oscar because it was go see Judy. I'm not a fan of Judy Garland's, but I loved the movie, and I loved her in it.
So wait a second. Do you go because you're in a lot of action films? When you're like sitting around watching films, do you watch all kinds of films, or are you because you're an action star kind of person? Do you?
No, I'm not a big action guy. I haven't seen Angel Has Fallen yet, and I'm in it.
Yeah, well, that's okay. I did 3 films. I haven't seen myself in it yet either. So, I shot one way back in September. And something's coming out now, Halloween. I think one of my
You
movies.
saw Angel Has Fallen.
Yeah, I love that movie.
We love
You
all
kidding?
those movies.
Well,
I love
actually,
them. And I like the fact that you got thrown through the shower. I hated you.
Well, that's not Angel.
Now, which one was that? Where they break into the hotel room and Jason beats the shit out
that's
of him?
different. That's
What
different.
movie was that?
That's Wild Card.
That's Wild Card.
Oh, I like that movie. I love when Jason knocks everybody around. It's my
He has
fan.
a thing for Jason.
No, it's my fan. I'm from Brooklyn. We like to knock people around. So, it's my fantasy to be young and able to kick the shit out of 10 men in a room.
So have you done any films where you're like just like a romantic lead, like Hallmark kind of movie? Or not yet?
No, I mean the tamest character that I probably play is I play Eliza Taylor's father on The 100.
Okay, yeah, that's a TV show. Yes, I didn't actually see that show.
Yeah, but I could make a prediction, and here's my prediction. After I get through with Jessica, she's going to, because she casts everybody, she's a big casting agent. She's going to cast you in a movie with her playing her romantic lead. I guarantee it. You're going to have to kiss and make out with her for hours. Poor man, you poor little thing. You know who Anita Ekberg is, the movie star from years ago, Anita Ekberg?
Yeah.
That's who Jessica looks like, and she's built like her. Jessica's boobs are real, and they are huge. I mean, she's one sexy, gorgeous blonde. Oh, Fuse, you had lunch with her. You know who she is.
I had lunch with her. Yeah, they're huge.
Yeah, they're huge. Okay, so
no, she's definitely going to cast you as her romantic lead. Probably a nude scene.
Tell me.
What?
I will.
I will. Now that you're single, we didn't know. Jimmy's blew it.
Well, I said you were married.
No, I said to Jessica, he's coming on in 4 minutes. I'm going to fix you up with him. So she said, oh, please do. I think he's sexy and gorgeous. And then Jimmy said, no, he's married. He's got 3 kids.
Well, I look on your Instagram and you have all those kids pictures.
I said, so what? I have a lot of married friends with 3 kids, and they play.
I love though all the stuff you post about your kids on Instagram and stuff. Like you seem like a really like fabulous father.
It's my best thing.
Yeah, kids are the only reason, boy. I got 2 daughters, and they're my reasons to live.
So okay, first of all, you guys, if you want to follow Chris on Instagram and Twitter, he's Hijack Leader. It's HIJACKLEADER. And like, how do we get that as a Twitter handle?
It's the same.
No, but I know, but like, why? I mean, you're Chris Browning. Why are you Hijack Leader?
That's where that story was coming from. That was my character name on Book of Eli.
Oh,
that was a good movie.
So ever since that day, it was like, wow, you've done stuff in small movies that you're proud of, but you've been in big movies, but not really opposite powerhouse actors. And you spent 2 days holding your own with Denzel Washington. You can do anything.
Let me tell you something.
So he's Hijack Leader. That's hilarious.
Let me tell you, I was 19. My first movie, Tab Hunter, Sophia Loren. Hello? You want to get bigger than that? Back in 1959, they were super duper stars. And I found them to be as lovely as anybody else. So I'm not afraid of celebrity or big stars at all. They're just people. They're just people who act. We go to a cold factory, which stinks, and we have to work 90,000 hours with sometimes unscrupulous directors. But would you say that? What's your favorite? What's your best work? Let's go there. your very best work when
that you think is your
when
best.
when you say to yourself, "Gee, you did a fucking great job."
Wow. Oh, I like what I did in Last Rampage.
What'd you do? I'm not familiar with that one.
It was a true crime story I did with Robert
good.
Patrick and Heather Graham, and I was a serial killer on the run.
Oh, good.
It was a true story. These guys escaped prison in 1970.
Oh, I have to. What's the name of the film?
It's called The Last Rampage: The
I want
Escape
to
of
see
Gary
it.
Tison.
How can we? Let's look at it tomorrow night. I want to watch it tomorrow night. Where can we get it?
I never understood why they called it that. Why is it called The Last Rampage: Escape of Gary Tison? When Gary Tison and whatever Paul Greenblatt or whatever my name was, we both escaped. And I was a convicted serial killer. He was like a check forger who killed a guard and got life doing that.
Well, they named the movie after him and not you.
Well, I would love to play a serial killer in a nursing home.
Yeah. You guys, first of all, if you want to see the movie The Last Rampage, The Escape of Gary Tison, it stars, along with Chris Browning, Robert Patrick, Bruce Davison. I love Bruce Davison. Heather Graham and John Hurd. That must have been one of his nearest last movies, too, because he passed away.
Yeah, he was a brilliant actor. Brilliant actor.
It was on Netflix. Now it's on Amazon.
So how can we get that?
Amazon.
It's free.
Thursday night, I don't give it. I'll pay for it. Thursday night, we're watching it because I want to see you, number one. But I love serial killer movies. I love them.
Okay, so who's on your bucket list? Because we've got 4 minutes left. You've already worked with
I want to say one thing, then you can have it.
Oh, shit.
Please, when you marry Jessica, invite me to the wedding. Now go, Jim.
Okay, so like your bucket list, you've already got, because the list of people that you've worked with, if you could work with anybody living or dead, who's like the male and female on your bucket list of, oh my gosh, I'd love to be that. And then while you're thinking about that, another quick answer is, if you could have been in any movie ever made in history, what movie would you have liked to been in and why?
Butch and Sundance.
Oh, wow.
What movie?
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Really? That film was.
And who would you want to be, Butch Cassidy or the Sundance Kid?
Sundance.
I don't know that film is so fabulous, or that character was. I'd like to see you in something far greater than that.
That's his bucket.
No, I
list,
know
not
that.
yours.
Well, I'm disagreeing with them. I think that was a minimal role.
You're making it sound like which one would you have liked to have been? That would have been a nonstop thrill ride. Playing cowboy with Paul Newman for 6 months.
Absolutely. All right, and then who's on your bucket list?
Challenge goes. It was. I would have. If I could have played R.P. McMurphy in Cuckoo's Nest.
I'd like to see you as James Bond, something like that.
You could do James
He'd
Bond.
be a great James Bond. Are you kidding?
We'll do that.
Huh? What, you wouldn't play? You wouldn't?
Absolutely. No, he says we'll do that.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
so
that's what I would like to see.
Who's
him
the
as
male
James
and
Bond.
female? Who's the male and female actress and actor that you haven't had a chance yet to work with that you would like to work with if you had an opportunity?
Living or dead, huh?
Yeah, it could be anybody. You should pick somebody living though, because if you pick somebody living, there's a chance it'll happen.
Well,
and Jessica picked Marilyn Monroe.
List is definitely Clint Eastwood.
Okay. Clint Eastwood.
He retired. You can't have him.
That's
He
okay.
retired for a year.
Yeah, he'll be back.
No, he won't. He's not feeling too hot.
Okay, go ahead. And a female.
Well, that was the thing that broke me up about Paul Newman. I really wanted to work with Paul Newman. It's like I gotta get there because they're all dying off.
Yes.
I never met Paul, but I know Joanne.
I'd like to work with Robert Redford.
Robert Redford.
Joanne Woodward is absolutely the most together woman I have ever met in my life. She's totally together. There's no loose strings with her. So I'm sure that Paul was the same way in private world, because in order to live with Joanne, you have to be straight-laced and very proper, because Joanne Woodward is that way.
Natasha Henstridge.
Oh, I love her.
Who?
Actually, we're going to have her come on the show, I think. I tweet with her. Natasha Henstridge.
Do I know
You know
her?
her, yeah, because she's in Species, and you saw Species. She plays the Species.
Did I think she was a good actress?
Yeah, and she's gorgeous, too.
Oh, good.
She's a friend. We did a movie last year called The Unhealer down in Arizona. It hasn't come out yet. And we met on that and became instant friends. And it was cool because I got to tell her that, you know, back when the Species days, when all of, you know, the other college guys and shit, whatever, or wherever, you're having that drunken beer argument about who the hottest chick is, and everyone's talking about Kim Basinger and you know, whatever. Mine was always Natasha Henstridge, and here, in fact,
you got to actually make a movie with her.
This is her house. I mean, right now.
Oh, is it really?
So
is she there? Tell her hi.
Are you dating her? Are you dating her?
This is no.
So what are you doing in her house? Are you burglaring it? Are you robbing it?
So I'm just keeping an eye on things I'm down here for.
Oh, I love it. All right, hold on, because we're out of time. Everybody, this is Chris Browning. In January, his film Greenlight's going to come out. You've heard all the films we've talked about. He's in. Go see all of them. Follow
One
him
hell of an actor, folks.
Follow him on Instagram and Twitter at Hijack Leader, HIJACKLEADER. From the Book of Eli, we want to thank you for coming on. I'm going to email you because we got an event coming up maybe you might like to come to, and we want to thank you for coming on the show. And when you have anything to promote, we'll bring you back. We'll bring you on as the earlier guest so we have more time.
And I hope you have the good fortune.
Whatever it is, I want to go.
Awesome.
Wait, hang on. I hope you have the good fortune to work with Angelina Jolie one day. I would love to see the two of you on screen.
I would love it.
I love it too. All right,
Never
Chris.
know, it may
thank you
happen.
so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Take
have a
care,
great
Chris.
time and good luck and congratulations. And everybody else, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week. Bye, everybody.
See you on the next red carpet, babe. Bye-bye.
Bye.